Here's just an overview of the float ride seat, just kind of taking a look around and about on the inside and outside. So if you want to see how anything fits together when it's done, it's easy to take a peek. There's the torsion springs, the arms. Everything fit in place really quite nice. You'll notice the front bulkhead. And it's very common that when the seat gets used, that this cross shaft arm in the front or the inside of the seat skirt are going to wear, and there's going to be some rubbing and friction there. That's really nothing, there's really not much you can do to avoid it unless you go through some painful steps to try to take up that play. But it's also wear and scuffing of paint in an area which you'll never see. Notice the decal, and it points out with the location of the adjusting handle pins, what setting you might have it on depending on your weight. Something Steiner has done with their torsion springs is really paid attention to the composition of the rubber that's used, so it's very similar to original. There are some reproduction torsion springs that have been sold out there in recent history that the composition of the rubber was such that it was perhaps a little too soft, meaning that if you ended up weighing in on the heavy side like I do, you may be able to adjust them all the way to 9 and still the seat would sink down under your body weight. So take note when reinstalling installing the adjusting handle that you install the pins from the back side so that they don't interfere with this tie bar plate in the back. It's definitely something to pay attention to, otherwise you'll be left reinstalling. It's also very important when installing these short links that they be oriented in the proper position when you have your seat on the bench, making sure these are in the right spot. Because so often, I think the first couple of seats that I had done, I had these in the wrong position, had to drive the pins back out, and not a fun time. There's the be careful warning plate. It's actually made out of aluminum. It's really nice reproduction. And of course a brand new light from Steiner. That's really the way to go. Trying to fix some of these rusted out old lights is just a painful experience, to say the least. But that's kind of an overview of the float ride. Take time to refer to all the written instructions that Steiner gives you, along with take a close look at the parts diagrams and just study it up. If you've not done one of these before, definitely take the time to do your homework before. Well, we've come full circle with this seat here. One thing I did want to talk about, even after we've gotten the float ride assembled, is talking about the variety of seat cushions and armrests and backrests that Steiner provides. Here's our original. It's a lovely faded green blue. Looks like it was put together pretty nicely, but it's a little bit old, so we're going to throw that one out. It's pretty well junk. In terms of seat cushions, Steiner offers a couple different options. First option is actually the one we went with on this tractor, but they offer a spring, metal spring cushion seat that also has a thick layer of foam, so you not only get the comfort of a foam cushion, but you also get a suspension system that's actually metal coil springs. This is something that was not standard when you ordered your 20 or 30 series tractor, but it's a nice addition. If you add that on top of the float ride seat, you get an extra smooth, soft ride if you're going over some rough ground, or you just have a 30-mile tractor drive and have a few potholes along the way. The other option that Steiner offers is a high-density quality foam seat cushion as well. This is more or less standard equipment that would have come with your float ride seat when it was new. Just a high-density foam wood bottom. Also wanted to talk about the backrest. While Steiner has really taken a lot of time to get it right, even going with the original metal plated rivets and a solid metal back. You'll notice if you go to generic seat cushions or backrest, you're going to get a plywood back. The metal is much more durable and is going to hold up over time. Something else that you will be interested in are these handy dandy armrests. They just simply clip on over the seat rail. And bear in mind, you're going to scuff paint when you do this, but typically you leave them on when you have them on your tractor. So depending on your armrest, you may have to spring open the clips slightly to modify it to make it work, but once it's in place, it'll stay there, and it'll cushion not only your arms, but the sides of your thighs as you're riding down through the field. So that's a little overview of the seat cushions, and we'll go from there. Alright folks, so here we are at the end of the journey rebuilding the John Deere Float Ride seat. We've done a little bit of everything to this seat, from the torsion springs to new bushings and pins, even new roll pins to hold it all together. A few finishing touches like some decals. We've got a seat decal here that goes over the adjustment of the seat. And I did find out, I never knew this before, there's a difference between the decal on the 20 series and the 30 series. So when you contact your decal supplier, be sure to ask about that and let them know what you've got. We also installed a new light on the back of the seat from Steiner, and can't tell you the part number off the top of my head, but this is the way to go, folks. Don't even try to mess around with old stuff and dealing with ground issues. Just buy new, you'll be a whole lot happier. So we got new seat cushions all the way around, new paint, and I guess the proof is in the pudding. I'm ready to go to the field, cross some plowed ground, and give this seat a workout.